The 7th Annual African Tax Research Network Conference focused on the tax and revenue implications of the African Continental Free Trade Area AfCFTA agreement. The World Bank estimates that AfCFTA would significantly boost African trade, particularly intra-regional trade in manufacturing. By 2035, the volume of total exports would increase by almost 29%. Intracontinental exports would increase by more than 81%, while exports to non-African countries would rise by 19%. This would create new opportunities for African countries and its workforce. It is expected that the aggregate tariff revenues for Africa will decrease with the implementation of the AfCFTA, with some countries to be more affected than others. This decline in revenue will be moderate in the early years due to progressive liberalization. However, in the long term, between 2025 and 2045, the decline will increase from 3 to 9%, according to a projection from the World Bank. Speaking at the conference, Commissioner General of the Ghana Revenue Authority, Reverend Dr. Amishadai Owusu-Amwa, underscored the need for deepened regional cooperation between tax authorities as part of efforts to ensure the success of the African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement.
Developments have prepared our customs officials for a much larger undertaking, that is the implementation of the African Continental Free Trade Agreement. Some competent authorities have made tremendous progress, particularly in the use of technology and towards integration, and we can tap into their experiences to work towards our own goals as a continent. For a start, we can now establish South-South cooperation and also build capacity to facilitate not only a shared understanding about the needs and the processes required, but also to create a platform for cooperation between authorities as well as law enforcement agencies for the detection of tax and other financial crimes. Ladies and gentlemen, the need for regional cooperation between tax authorities is now more important than ever. Tax and customs authorities play a key role in the collection of information, including beneficiary ownership information and then financial information, as well as the use of tax identifiers that will link individuals to the companies which they have shareholding.
Delivering the keynote on behalf of the Minister of Finance, Ken Ofori-Atta, a Deputy Minister of Finance, Abna Osei-Asare, stated that it is critical for member states under the AfCFTA to resort to innovative revenue-enhancing measures to boost customs revenue mobilization.
And so there is a need to capture the informal sector so that you will be able to give the right assessment of taxes for them. And also we should also look at introducing some innovative tax measures that we believe will go a long way to help, like the EVAT system that government is going to come out with. And then we also looked at the electronic transfer, the e-levy, which we believe is also going to tax that component of mobile money and then other transfer taxes, other transfer incomes in that region. We will have to do something innovatively to make up for the marginal shortfall in the short term. But in the long term, we all mentioned that it is going to help us to improve incomes. And it's the World Bank estimates that there's going to be a 7% improvement in income, and that alone will result in about $450 billion US. So, every African country will try to come up with measures and strategies that will help it tap into that 450 million.
The Executive Secretary of the African Tax Administration Forum, Logan Ward, emphasized the need for African governments to tighten tax on international trade and increase investments in digital tax collection systems.
70% of your economy comes from the informal sector. So unless you find, as the Deputy Minister had said, innovative ways to bring them into the tax net, you are going to reduce your income because of the fact that you can no longer charge certain tariffs. 90% of chargeable tariffs will fall away under the agreement. And so within that informal sector, you will find not only small businesses, you also find medium and bigger businesses that hides within an informal sector. You've got to introduce and tighten up your taxes on international trade. You've got to tighten up your taxes on the digital economy. The digital economy here in Ghana has exponentially increased over the last decade by 2 to 3 billion US dollars annually. What is the domestic tax take from that? And so you need to invest in the digitalization of your tax administration. You've got to invest in advanced policies for taxing the multinational enterprises, and you've got to bring more of your middle classes into the tax net